Hey guys, it's Tuesday. Sorry I didn't make a video yesterday, but I had filmed everything and I accidentally deleted like half my footage and I only discovered this late last night and didn't have time to refilm, so here we go. So this week on Proverbial Olympus we are recommending 5 books to everyone. And my first book is the book I always recommend, my favorite book, Sabriel by Garth Nix. It's the first book in a trilogy and he's working on a prequel, but that's been in the works for a while. Sabriel is my favorite book of the trilogy and it's just really fantastic, and there's magic and necromancy and talking cats. It sounds kind of cheesy when I say that, but it's really fantastic and the world he creates is just so real and believable. It's always nice to read a novel too with a strong female lead. Second book I want to recommend to you guys is In Defense of Food. This is the only book that I'm recommending today that I actually have with me in Waterloo. I talked about it before, I think it was just last week. But it's so good, and even if you're not really interested in environmental or food issues, it's pretty interesting, and it just sort of talks about why we eat what we do, and it talks about how reductionistic the current paradigm of food is and how it needs to be more holistic. My number 3 book I'm recommending to you guys is Blackout and All Clear by Connie Willis. Now I know this is technically 2 books, but you gotta think about it like a Kill Bill thing. It's like 2 parts of the same story. Connie Willis has this series of books that I'm really fond of about time-traveling historians from Oxford University. What's really interesting about them is that they're based in a reality that's not too different from our own, save that there's time travel. This series of books is really good too because you don't necessarily need to read one to know what's going on in the other, besides Blackout and All Clear, because they often follow different characters. Blackout and All Clear are my favorites in this series. And while the idea of time-traveling historians may sound kind of whimsical and lighthearted, it definitely isn't, so be warned. The 4th book I would like to recommend to you guys is Little Brother by Cory Doctorow. Cory Doctorow is a fantastic writer. He has such a unique voice and it's very geeky and sort of centers on technical computer things. In his one book, For the Win, even though it was a fictional tale, it still used MMORPGs as sort of a way of talking about economics in a way that was the first time I've ever understood any economics ever. Not that I've tried to learn much economics, but anyways, Little Brother is about these terrorist attacks that happen in San Francisco, and these kids sort of get caught on the wrong side of it, and security goes crazy and sort of this Big Brother thing, hence the name. And it's just interesting to see how they screw with the system and stuff. It's really cool. Okay, and my final book for you guys is Sleep Thieves. I believe it's by Stanley Coren, but I'm not 100% sure on that. This is another nonfiction book that talks about the science of sleep. It's really interesting and just talks about why we need sleep and what happens when we don't sleep and how much sleep we need. Although it doesn't necessarily answer these questions, but it sort of explores them. So I look forward to hearing everyone else's recommendations. I'm always looking for a good book to read, and until next Monday.